Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So today, let's look at markets. After a spectacular day yesterday, are we going to repeat? Let's look at what's going to happen. There's something else happening this week I didn't mention yet, so let's talk about that. And this massive liquidity surge that is incoming for Bitcoin, of course. We got to talk about that as well. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. We're sitting about the same mark as yesterday, although there are certain crypto, like, for example, Stacks, that's doing quite well. But overall, Bitcoin is right below 57,000. We're recovering from that drop, 52.5. Let's see if we can build upon that momentum from yesterday. The U.S. market right now is looking good, at least for NASDAQ. So that's pretty good. And then you got NVIDIA that's pumping right now. MicroStrategy and Coinbase had spectacular days yesterday. Right now in the red. Let's see if we can flip to the green side. I think right now this week, of course, we had a relief rally yesterday. This week we have a lot of economic stuff. Let's just say it's not all data, but we do have a big inflation reading tomorrow and Thursday. Of course, those are important. Okay, US inflation, has it come down a little bit or is it still rising? That is the question. That, of course, is going to affect the very first rate cut since 2020. It's been a long time coming. And then we also have jobless claims and consumer sentiment. We have a few more stuff. And then we got a few more stuff next week too, before the big FOMC meeting, right? Citigroup already declared that inflation has been won. Not just in the US, the Eurozone. You can see how high inflation was in Europe, emerging markets, US. Basically, according to Citigroup, the battle is over. Inflation is no longer elevated. It is down to our whatever level. In fact, this is showing that inflation is deflationary and going below zero because people are broke now. People are spending less. And if people are staying at home, not going out, not spending, well, then of course prices are going to start coming down. But deflation is not what anyone wants. It's way worse than inflation, right? But if this is any indicator, then it shows that Powell needs to be real serious about those cuts and make them happen swiftly and get them going. Right? Otherwise, you don't want the economy to go into deflation. That would be absolutely horrible. Really, really horrible. All right, what else is coming up this week? I totally forgot about this, but some people have mentioned it. There is, in the U.S., there is a big presidential debate coming up, and that's on Thursday. This will be the first time we hear Kamala debate against Donald Trump, right? And why this is important, because crypto, is for the first time an election issue. I mean, just think about that for a second. Regardless of which candidate, oh wait, it's tonight, I'm sorry. I thought it was Thursday. That's how out of it I am. But I mean, if you think about it in general, I mean, when has crypto ever been an issue in any previous debates or any previous, administrations? Really never. This is the first time in history where crypto is actually being talked about and is actually an issue. And this could actually come up today because, of course, you have Trump that already said he wants to make Bitcoin a strategic reserve. He wants to do a whole lot, like fire Gary Gensler on day one and, other stuff, right? I don't think Kamala has said anything about crypto, but maybe she changes her tune too, right? So according to the poll, 73% of crypto owners plan on looking at a candidate's crypto agenda. Well, obviously, if you're a crypto holder, of course you want to hear about crypto agenda. But it's not just in the U.S. Singapore, 49% of Singaporeans want to know about crypto policy, not in the U.S., but in Singapore. France, only 32%. Don't know why France went downwards. Those Frenchmen are weird. Just kidding. UK went up from 34 to 38%, and US went from 28 to 38%. That's a staggering growth. 10% growth. Basically, there are more and more people that are now into crypto. So, of course, they want to support the candidates and administrations that are going to be pro-crypto. It makes sense. So I guess we'll have to listen to what they say tonight. Whether this actually becomes a question, it'll be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So this may sway things too. If both sides are pro-crypto, that's going to be very good. Very, very good indeed. All right, so yeah, that's the other thing that's happening this week too. Again, it's today. I thought they were going to speak on Thursday. Well, anyways, it does not matter. We got a lot of stuff going on. All right. Now, what about ETFs? A small 28.6 million inflow after 8-day outflow streak. So we broke that finally. But we see that all the time. You have massive inflows, then you have outflow, then you have inflow, then you have outflow, right? But at least we flip to the other side. But we'll see if it continues, right? One day doesn't really indicate a complete momentum change. But let's see how today is and the rest of this week, whether or not we are ready to flip to the upside after that FOMC meeting, right? We still have 8 days to go before that happens. 8 days. 8 long days. Remember, this is historically a horrible month for Bitcoin, but I still think we have a chance to turn around after that big, important Powell FOMC meeting. All right, what else is there? Sex data in August. Increasing by a tremendous amount. 30% month over month. Binance and Bybit leading the way, 35%, 41%. So traders are coming back. Whether they're actually winning or losing, don't know. We had so much volatility. But nevertheless, this shows that retail investors are coming back and starting to get bullish once again, because July was just not good. August is getting better, and let's see what happens in September. But we do know this, October is the most bullish month for Bitcoin and crypto, and that is coming up. That's coming up very, very soon. Also, $300 million worth of stablecoins flowed into exchanges yesterday. And whenever you have large amounts of stablecoins come in, that's also a very good thing, because what are people going to do with the stablecoins? Of course, they're going to buy with it. And the number of stablecoins in circulation in total is at an all-time high. All-time high. Again, you have over $100 billion of Tether, and then you add in all the others. They're waiting on the sidelines, and once the FOMO train hits, get ready. These big boys are locked and loaded, waiting for the opportunity to use the hundreds of billions of dollars worth of stablecoins to purchase with, right? Metaplanet, they're still buying. They bought another 38 Bitcoin. I don't know how much that is, like a few $1 million, but people say, Metaplanet, they're not buying a whole lot. They're just buying a little bit at a time. So what? Now they hold 400 Bitcoin. This is the power of DCA. I saw a lot of people make fun of the fact that we're now covering like Metaplanet and how they don't have a ton of Bitcoin, but this is how you start. Same thing with retail investors. You start whatever you can purchase, but it adds up in the long run. 400 Bitcoin is a lot. It's a lot. And they keep on adding more and more and more. Soon that 400 will turn to 1,000 and turn into 4,000. Look at El Salvador. They did the same thing. Now they have, I don't know how much, but over $300 million of the Bitcoin. This is the way to do it. You just DCA over long haul. You don't have to be like Michael Saylor and throw in $10 billion right away, right? You could DCA over long haul and it still works. In fact, this is probably a better strategy. So good for them. Speaking of October, you could, if you look at October and then what happens afterwards, the elections, November, it happens every single 4 years, right? The Bitcoin, it follows a 4-year cycle. But every halving event happens to fall on an elections year because it's every 4 years. And what happens with Bitcoin on that halving year, every single time, it starts pumping to the moon after elections. But you could see building up to it, you see that rise, and then afterwards, that's when Bitcoin goes parabolic, right? So again, the naysayers will want you to think, well, we're going down. But look at the prior. Look at what happened beforehand, right? The white. We pumped up. We broke through a previous high. Never happened in history before this early. So yes, we may be down. We may be going sideways, but not all is lost. And starting maybe in a week or next month or after elections, we're going to get that parabolic run. It's not going to change. It continues every single cycle. And if you miss out and you panic sell now and you get out, you will regret it in a few months. I still think by the end of this year, just look at what happened in 2020 and 2016. By the end of that year, look at that crazy pump in both years. Right? I still think we're going to get something like that by the end of this year that can drive Bitcoin to six-figure territory. I do think that is in the works. So again, we don't have to wait that long, just a few more weeks or months, then we're going to forget about all this nonsense, all the distractions, all the little volatility that everyone's complaining about. Something else is this surge, liquidity surge. I've mentioned this before, but this is very telling, especially with this chart. The gray line here, that's global liquidity, right? And you can see the prior times when global liquidity, the money supply is going up, that correlates with Bitcoin's big pumps, right? And we have been going sideways for 4 years because interest rates have been rising, rate hikes have been happening. Obviously, we're still pulling back or recovering from COVID time. But now you can see it's going up. It's ticking up. And whenever, again, global liquidity goes up, asset prices go up tremendously, like Bitcoin, right? So that's also already starting. Is it all correlating to what's going to happen at the end of the year? It's looking like it. It's like a perfect storm brewing right now, getting us ready for that next leg up that could drive us to 100,000 and getting us ready for next year, which could push Bitcoin much, much higher. And not just Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes much, much higher, you guys know the alts will follow. We got a brief taste of that earlier this year in March and April, right? We're going to see that again end of this year, and we're going to see a whole lot of it next year. Yeah, and the last thing I'll show you is this. We got pumps, and then pre-pumps, and then pumps, and then pre-pumps. That's just funny. Anyways, we're still going through that sideways movement, right? But you don't have to go back too far to realize that we went through that in 2023. For an entire year of 2023, it was just really, really awful, really bad. When Bitcoin couldn't even break above 30,000, we were stuck in the 20,000 zone. And finally we did, and we didn't look back. And it'll be the same thing this time around. When we finally break out, when we go on that parabolic run, we're going to forget all this sideways movement, and we're going to remember. No, we're not going to remember anything besides the FOMO. That's really it. So just stay strong, my friends. Global liquidity injection causing a surge is about to happen. And then we also have a lot of other economic data. And we got elections. And we got rate cuts all coming in the next few months. It's going to be fantastic. All right, what else is there? Just a couple other crypto news. Let's see. Tron, Tether, and TRM Labs start financial crime fighting services because it seems like half of all the illicit activity in crypto happens on top of Tron. Big surprise. Big surprise. So now, whatever this T3 Financial Crime Unit is looking to clean up USDT issued on Tron. Right? It's all because of this guy right here who kind of started it all. Yeah. I just don't trust Tron. I don't trust Justin. I don't trust anything that happens on Tron. Just be careful. Activity on Base is skyrocketing, which is quite amazing, especially since meme activity has died down. But the active monthly users are still going up, 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 and more up. So this is fantastic for Coinbase and fantastic for ETH if you think about it, because this is all still using ETH. So we'll see. When the meme season kicks back in again, this could go more parabolically upwards, along with others like Solana and Avalanche and any chain that's embracing memes. They will come back. And then lastly, Dogs had the largest, Dogs is the largest meme TGE. Dogs had led the largest meme TGE in crypto history, 53 million engaged users. Here's the thing. I don't know, like, all these games that's launching on Telegram, all right? They have all these staggering stats. Like Hamster Combat has 300 million users. How many of you guys have played any of these games on Ton? I haven't talked to anyone in the crypto community that actually has played any of these games or have received any of these airdrops. It's like they're all like botted users or users that are like non-crypto, and they're all from like, I don't know, Southeast Asia or something, right? Like, I really don't know where all the numbers are coming from. 53 million users in this app. We don't have any other dApp in the space that has anywhere close to 53 million users. We don't even have 53 million crypto holders, I don't think. So it's actually kind of crazy to hear about stats like this. Anyways, just ranting on a little bit. That is pretty much it. Let's see. Today is still S&P and NASDAQ still in the green. We haven't flipped to the green side yet. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. Let's do some Q&A. All right, let me scroll up. Let's see. Crypto SJ, good morning to you. Cameron Doan, $1 super chat. Thank you. Let's see. Looks like a lot of people are looking forward to the debate tonight. Anan, hello from Australia. Okay, one person says I play Hamster Combat, Baby Bull Crypto. I looked at the game. It looks so stupid. I don't even know why it's popular. I really don't. What's the best midsize truck? Thoughts on the Colorado? Colorado, the new redesign was nice. And then the, what is it? The ZR, what, I don't know if they call it ZR2 or something. They have a ZR2 and then a ZR2 Bison, which is like the extreme off-road version of the Colorado. That's a really nice one. But if you want just like the practical truck, not an off-road truck, just a really practical truck for everyday use, I would say go look at a Honda Ridgeline. It is the biggest on the inside, drives the nicest, the quietest, does not feel like a truck, and you got a big bed and a trunk inside the bed. It is really practical. Just not a whole lot of people look at it because they don't think it's a real truck and, you know, this and that. But Ridgeline is still by far the best truck. Like, for daily commuters, not like off-road or heavy towing or heavy payload, you know, stuff like that. George, you should live stream the debate. You know what? That's not, it depends on when it is. If it's tonight when I'm streaming, I might as well do it. And then we could, well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to be on it for 2 hours, right? And then I don't really want to, like, I don't really care about any of the issues they talk about besides crypto. And I don't know how much of it they're going to be talking about tonight, if any at all. I'm hoping so. Greetings from Puerto Rico. Tacomas are always reliable because it's a Toyota truck, but Tacomas on the inside is really small, especially the second row. Only suitable for kids, second row. You can't fit any adults back there. Even a new one, they just didn't make any bigger. Ridgeline, again, at least you can sit some adults in the back. Ridgeline isn't a true truck because it doesn't have the suspension required. Like, what are you talking about? Leaf springs? The new full-size trucks don't use leaf springs anymore either, man. So what suspension are you talking about? The Rams, F-150s, they no longer use a leaf spring setup. They're independent rear suspensions. And they're air suspensions now too. That's why they ride so well. Yeah, it's not a body on frame, I'll give you that. Camera, new member. You hear about the new Tundra engine issues? Yeah, like first they had some wastegate issues with the turbo, and then now they have like scraps left in their engine or something, so they have to recall it. Doge has been doing well recently. Doge coming back up. Ton today having a good day. Solana having a good day. If I got a truck, the only passenger would be my dog. Well, then you could get whatever the hell you want. W Dog, what supercar should I buy after striking it rich? I don't know what you like, man. I don't know what you like. I would say the next supercar I want to get is the new ZR1. I think it's amazing. ZR1, you have a natural aspirated, no, it's not natural aspirated, but it's a turbocharged V8, no hybrid whatsoever, producing over 1,000 horsepower from the factory. That doesn't exist. It's go down as a collector's car because every other manufacturer, every other exotic car, sports car, they're all going hybrid. It's all a hybrid thing. The new Lambos, new Ferraris, they're all hybrid. I'm pretty sure the new Porsche, the new 911s that are being developed, they're all some kind of hybrid setup. So for GM to stick with its roots and just go with a big V8 and turbocharge it, no hybrid whatsoever on that ZR1, it may be the last. It may be the last exotic car that's a non-hybrid. And I think that's amazing. I would get that if it's affordable and the dealerships don't mark it up too much. Can you look at Milady and give your opinion if we do a 10 and 20x? Milady is an old meme coin. It's been around for a long time. I'll just say this without looking at it. Any meme coin has the potential to do a 10 to 20x. All of them. Every single one. So yes, it has the potential. Whether or not the community can rally behind it and do that, that's another story. Because there are so many memes. Aliens are eagerly watching the final season of Earth. Hey, by the way, I need some show ideas because I need to download a ton of them on my iPad before I go on my long trips. I have House of the Dragon season 2. I purposely didn't watch that. I don't know if any. You know what's wrong with shows these days? I'm watching like an old show, Prison Break, with my kids. And when you have a really good storytelling show, back in the day before all the streaming services, seasons would have like 22, 23 episodes, right? And when you have a really good show, you don't mind, especially when you're binge watching because you're hooked, right? But now all the shows are like 8 episodes, 10 episodes. You just get through them so fast. And there's not enough time for good storytelling, right? And anyways, I need shows to download. Seems like House of the Dragon season 2 is not. Well, some people say it's good. Some people say it's not. The old HBO series are the best. I've never watched Band of Brothers and The Wire. I've heard from many say that The Wire is the best show ever created. I'm going to actually download it. I'm going to download it. I've heard that from so many people that The Wire is the most epic show ever created. I've never watched that before. Dexter, I watched all of it. Justified, never. Breaking Bad, watched all of it. Rings of Power I have no interest in it. What's your BDC low prediction? Low prediction? Okay, let's say I was super bearish like super bearish, by the end of 2025, we would be at like 80,000, 75, 80,000. What's Justified? I've never heard of that. Justified? Yeah, I've kind of heard of Animal Kingdom, but I don't remember what it is about. I did watch Dexter New Blood. It's a horrific, horrific show. A horrific season. It's so stupid, especially toward the end. And here's the thing. Showtime is talking about doing another Dexter, which doesn't even make sense after Dexter New Blood. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but like it doesn't even make any sense. But I'm hearing they're coming out with another Dexter show, which doesn't make sense at all. I never watched Sopranos either, but I feel like it's not my type of show. Justify is a cop cowboy show. Ozark was amazing. I watched all of that. I watched Altered Carbon. It was an interesting premise, and then it got really weird, but I did watch all of it. Animal Kingdom is really good. Yeah, my kids are not going to be watching it. I'm going to be watching on the plane. So seems like that Michael Hall guy, the only thing he could do is Dexter. Anything else he has tried has failed miserably. Lost, I watched that a long time ago. Battlestar Galactica, watched that a long time ago. I watched all the Star Treks on Paramount Plus. Picard season 3 is the most epic season. Discovery was good until it wasn't. Like they just ran out of ideas for Discovery, and it just ended weirdly too. It kind of sucked. They could have done more with Discovery, but you know they don't. It's like 1,000 years into the future, or 2,000 years in the future, so they just can't think of ideas anymore. Rich Asians is the best. Are you talking about the movie or the show? I should actually write some of this down because I'm already forgetting which ones. Justified, The Wire, Animal Kingdom. Those are the three that everyone's talking about. I don't know what Rich Asians is. Never heard of it. Chernobyl miniseries I've watched before. I really feel sorry for those guys. Okay, Animal Kingdom. If I like Ozark, Ozark was so amazing. Ozark was epic. I could never get into Narcos. Tulsa King was amazing too. Tulsa King shows you that you can just have a brilliant new idea, and as long as okay, let me take that back. Tulsa King shows that you don't have to like do prequels or sequels. You could actually have a new original idea and then make a really good show out of it, like Tulsa King. Really enjoy that show. I can't wait until season 2. I hope season 2 comes out so I could download it and watch it, but I don't think it's coming out this week. I hated Firefly. I couldn't get into it. I have not watched Money Heist. Fringe was weird too. I couldn't really get into it. Are you flying first class or peasant's chair? I can only fly first class now. I can't fly with the peasants. Lance Hardwood, if you ask that again, you will be banned permanently. And don't ever at me. I guess I should change this. Suits I already watched. I'm glad I actually binge watched that. It was actually a way better show than I expected. Leroy, DCA to full status. Thanks for all the years of great alpha. Well, you're welcome. But what does to full status mean? That means you're a whole coiner now? Congrats. You know, becoming a whole coiner is not easy. Not a whole lot of people say that, but being a whole coiner is quite difficult. There's almost no one that can pull out 50 something thousand or $60,000 from their bank account to buy a whole Bitcoin at, like right now. It's really difficult. Do a Sunday walk video in Singapore. That's what I plan on doing. As long as I'm not jet lagged or anything. Facelift a Jeep Compass or new RAV4. Never get a Jeep Compass. All the small Jeeps, never get. They're all garbage. Like Renegade, Compass, what's that? Patriot or whatever the other one is. They're all garbage. Okay. Only the Grand Cherokee is good, and that's it. So if you're between those two, definitely the RAV4. Billions. I love Billions. Billions was a brilliant show until the final season. It was so brilliant, but they didn't know how to end it. And then the law guy, finally cheated in the end because they couldn't get Prince. And it kind of ruined it because he was a genius himself. And then, but he didn't know how to take down Prince without cheating. So that kind of defeated the whole thing. Be careful, Singapore might arrest you for speaking out loud. I don't think that's a thing. When I was in Dubai, I was worried because people said you can't film people. So I was afraid of doing videos outdoors in Dubai. But it seemed like a lot of people were doing it anyway, so it was overblown. Mike Smith, do you think NFL quarterback contracts collapse soon? Since Dak got $60 million a year, the owner cannot pay these crazy contracts forever. That shows you, I agree with you. All these sports contracts are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You think, oh, the league can't support it, or owners can't support it. That shows you how much they actually make. And yes, they can very well support it. Because they could pay $60 million a year, and it's nothing compared to what they're actually making. The TV rights and all the other rights that they have to video games and merchandise, sports cards, like all that are well into billions upon billions. There's a big difference between millions and billions. NFL owners are definitely whole coiners. They could buy 1,000 coins like it's nothing. A mixed day today. Mixed day. Apple has to pay 14.4 billion in back taxes. That's a lot, even for Apple. Almost 15 billion. That's quite a lot. That's not nothing. Federal Reserve unveils toned down banking regulation, victory for Wall Street. Well, that doesn't sound good. No, I never watched The Shield. I think the three I'm gonna look at is The Shield, Animal Kingdom, and Justified. I'm gonna look up those shows. I hope the food in Singapore is great. I don't know what kind of food. I'm guessing it's Chinese food. Um, I'm looking forward to good Chinese food. No, Mike. I did sell most of my cards. I still have my expensive ones. They have collapsed a lot, but the really good ones are coming back. Especially like LeBron rookies, Jordan rookies, especially Jordan rookies. They're they're still going up. So if you get the truly rare sports cards, they're like the Picassos of the sports collectors. So they only go up. They don't really go down. Singapore is a food paradise. I'm looking forward to it. I like good food, obviously. Um, but yeah, I guess the good thing about me going to Singapore is number one, I can speak a little Mandarin, and two, obviously I speak English, so I should have no communication problems whatsoever. And I like Asian food, obviously, so that should not be an issue. And the whole town is filled with crypto people, right? So I'll be invited everywhere. I'll be attending a lot of things. It should be a nice place. All right, guys. I'll let you guys go. Let's see what happens later today, especially with the debate coming up. Yeah, we'll see. We will see if they talk crypto. All right, guys, smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tonight, maybe 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.